Aquarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid November 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aquarius collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these lovely Aquariuses out there? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aquarius in mid-November. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick. There we go. Ask and you shall receive. This energy, to me, seems like it's in its own lane, which I think is a good thing. There's a lot of layers to this one. It's also very beautiful and it's aesthetically pleasing, so to speak. But the big vibe I always get with this is like someone either trying to blend in or mind their own business. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this lady. She's in what seems to be a pond surrounded by these geese, and she's kind of just blending in with the crowd. Now, first and foremost, the aesthetics. To me, I think this is a beautiful piece of imagery. So for some of you, maybe you're doing something about your aesthetics, how you look, how you present yourself to the world. Maybe there's changes to the wardrobe or your hair, or just something with how the world perceives you could be changing when I see this. So I like it. It feels confident to me. So I like how this energy feels. But the main vibe, I already mentioned it, the fact that she's like blending in. So for some Aquariuses, you might just be, head forward in your lane, doing your own thing. You're not worried about what Tom, Dick, and Harry are doing. You're just minding your own business. Like that's a thing. Or for some of you, maybe there's someone you're connected to that's laying low. They might not want to make waves. They might not want to rock the boat, so to speak. So to me, this is definitely a lay low type of energy, which again doesn't have to be a bad thing. Normally, that's pretty good. Where it's like I'm focused, I'm doing this, I'm staying in my lane, and I'm happy in it. That's just how it feels. So we're going to let her do her thing, right? We're going to put her down right there. You chill, have fun hanging out with the geese. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card there, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for Aquarius. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Very intriguing. The reading was titled An Explosive Wind, but it didn't start that way. In the reading itself, it did start with some choppy waters and some choppiness in the energy. Then there was like this period of limbo, like a now what kind of energy. But then that big win came in on the end, which really made me happy. Now, I always say wins and victories come in all different shapes and sizes. So that could have came in for some of you already, whether it's money, work, business, personal relationships. For some of you, it might still be yet to come. And remember, energy could bleed over for a couple weeks. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for Aquarius. What do we have in mid-November? Thank you. 8 of Cups. Yeah, the energy's zipping and zooming. It's moving. Okay. 8 of Cups. We'll analyze further before I speak. Now, I will say this. I like an action card in the first position. I always like an action card there. Let's get more. Let's get more here. Swords. Okay. Odd. Because why would someone do it the hard way? For some of you, I know this is hyper specific. Only take it if it hits. I'm already getting intuition of someone like taking the hard road for some reason. Maybe it's more rewarding. We'll see. 8 of Wands. So there could be something that's a little difficult now that won't be forever. That's for sure. I like this energy here on the back end because it is very similar to what we saw last week, but different. Okay, so we're definitely going to have to talk about this. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, I always like to look at the elements and how they play off each other. You have a nice even distribution this week. We start off with the water element. That's great. That represents feelings, emotions, creativity, the internal world. So when this shows up, I'm like, all right, cool. It's just how you're feeling within, not quite how you express yourself outwardly, and that's okay. Cups can also represent emotional attachments, people that we're attached to, so partnerships could roll in here. The only downside with cups, it's to me, it kind of shows up in extremes. Either it's perfect or it's not, right? It's like one of those. So we need to look at that further. Now, moving to the middle, we do have the swords, which is your power element, Aquarius. Although you're the water bearer, you're technically an air sign, and this is your air element. So even though the card itself is like a little shaky, you're cool with the element. It's logical, it's smart, it's intelligent. This energy, the swords, is extremely good in the mind. So whereas this one's feeling, this is thinking. So it's like we have the heart and we have the mind showing up here in two different spots. The only thing with air energy, sometimes it can be a little cold, sometimes it can be a little disconnected, sometimes it could be a little mean. Moving to the back end, we have some fire, another complementary energy for you. The realm of action, the actions we take, the actions other people take, the internal combustion, our passion, our drive, our desire. So I really like this. It's good for your energy levels. So again, all the energy's moving, all the energy is very fluid right now. So let's go through this piece by piece and really start to build it out. Position number one, we're starting with the Eight of Cups. Now we see that individual, he's walking off into the darkness. We see the eight full cups. Now, classically, a lot of readers view this as somebody walking away from something, and that can be the case. So for some of you, whether you've recently walked away from something, maybe it was a while ago, maybe you're thinking about it, this is the card that represents it. But I don't always see it that way. My perspective of the Eight of Cups is I'm taking action, even if I'm comfortable, even if I'm in a place where I'm comfy, cozy, and content. I'm pushing for more. So it doesn't have to be walking away. It could be going towards something as well. That's just a place that I view it from. Now, in its roughest sense, sometimes this can represent feelings of abandonment. Um, Notice that this energy is walking off into the unknown. So there is a level of mystery here where it's like, all right, well, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going. It's like giving me that kind of energy. So we'll look at this much further. And again, it can just be generalized action. So the clarifier could just tell us that. Now, moving over to the center, which is the direction that this Eight of Cups is headed in, is a card that is seen as a challenge card. It's an iconic card, right? We got the Three of Swords, the heart with the three swords cutting through it. And I always say you've probably seen this on t-shirts, keychains, posters, you name it, because it's a really cool looking image. But the energy that it carries isn't quite as cool. Now, I always say that it's not the worst case scenario. This is something that's on a spectrum. So could it be anxiety? Sure. Could it be being a little anxious? Yeah. Could it be a little gloom and feeling a little down? Absolutely. But it could also be heartbreak. It could also be heavy depression. It could also be anger. So you see, it's like a whole grab bag in different strengths of yucky emotions, so to speak. And we will look at it. So, what might be the silver lining or the bright side with a card like this? The fact that it's temporary. That's what I always say about this card because it's a sword card, which it's air and air energy moves quick. So it's not like planted forever like an earth card would be. So there could be temporary issues, temporary problems when we see this. Now moving to the back end, this is the real reason, and that's why I said maybe someone's walking the hard road or they're making something harder than it needs to be. And I'm not saying it's you, but there could most definitely be somebody making something harder or a process harder than it needs to be. Now, on the back end, the energy starts flowing good. We have the Eight of Wands, beautiful. Now, this is a huge card of messages, conversation, communication, talks. So we might just be seeing that when we clarify it. It could give us some more hints about what this could be. But again, it's another forward momentum action card. It looks like eight arrows cutting through the sky. It's coming in hot. So whether it's, a breakthrough of some kind, for a lot of you, that can be the case, where it's like, I started it, it wasn't easy, but now I'm breaking through. There could be various things that break through for you in this time or pay off. That's initially what I'm feeling already. But the Eight of Wands is progress. The only downside to it, it's an energy that can lash out. It's an energy that can be very unpredictable. So who's to say that this energy in the front, it does something, it's making it more difficult, and then it lashes out at everyone else because of it? Um, I want to dive deeper on all this, Aquarius. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you. What do we have? My Aquarius friends. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Eight of Cups. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aquarius, could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's get that Eight of Cups going. Why is it here? Strength. Doing something the hard way. Doing something the hard way. And now this just confirms it to me. So we have the strength card in the upright, where it's like, yeah, I could do it. I could handle it. Like, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. So for some of you, there may be a process or something you are going through that is not easy. There could be a stage of life or a period of life that you're experiencing right now where, you know what, it's not easy. Whatever way you slice it, whatever way you cut it, this can tell me that, like, yeah, you do have the strength to push through this to the breakthrough at some point, which is great. But the thing that's getting under my skin a little bit is that there could be someone that is making something more difficult than it needs to be. That it might be rough, but someone's making it rougher. Like there might be a problem, but someone's making it more problematic. It's like, no, but there's a clear road you could walk down. Like you don't have to chop through the jungle with a machete. You can take the paved road. Still not an easy walk. I hope that makes sense with how I'm explaining it. Now, the strength card, it connects to Leo. Um, it's karmic in nature. Notice it as the infinity symbol. I see this as someone's personality. So who they are on the inside, not who they show the world, not the appearances or the looks. It's who they are personality wise. When I see this, their willpower, their grit, their determination. It can be attacking problems with love and care as opposed to force. So there may be something where spirit's like, okay, well, don't force it. If you approach it in a more gentler manner, you'll get a better result. I can tell you that a gentler, more caring manner, you'll probably get a better result. But at the same time, I can't help but think that somebody is making a process or something more difficult than it needs to be. So whether it's a work thing, whether it's a personal relationship thing, whether it's a money thing, it's like there's an easier road or there's a way that's just not as hard. Let's keep going. Let's see what the Three of Swords is, because this is where we might get more detail on, like, all right, well, what are they making more difficult? What are they making harder on themselves? So, yeah, I really want to get to the Eight of Wands too. So, why is the Three of Swords here? Let's look at that. Why is the Three of Swords here? Thank you. So we have the Queen of Swords in reverse underneath the Three of Swords. I don't want to say this as someone that's like a glutton for punishment. That sounds so mean to say. But when I see the Three of Swords with the Queen of Swords in reverse, it's like, oh, I kind of like pain, and that sounds so wild to say because who likes to hurt? Who likes pain? Um, yeah, watch out for any problematic individuals in this time. Obviously, now this could be a warning about a very specific individual for some of you, and I'm not telling you to be suspicious of everyone in your life. But the energy here in the center feels like a glutton for punishment. I hate saying that. I really hate saying that, but that's just how it feels. And you know me, I'm always going to give it to you how it feels to me. The Queen of Swords, usually she's super intelligent, smart, honest, truthful, extremely smart. So when I see her in reverse underneath the Three of Swords, it's like, nah, I'm going to make it harder on myself. I'm going to do it the more difficult way. I know there's a better way. It's like somebody intentionally making a problem more problematic or someone intentionally making a situation more difficult than it needs to be. That's the best way. So again, whether it's a very specific person that spirit's telling you like, hey, watch out for this one, Aquarius, watch out for this one, or I mean, who knows, like maybe this person doesn't know what they're doing, maybe they're making it harder on themselves and they don't realize it. I don't like demonizing people in my readings. um, but this energy is making a situation more serious and they're making a problem more problematic when there could be an easier road. Let's go to the Eight of Wands. Let's go to the Eight of Wands. Let's see what's up with that. Then we'll do a quick recap. So why is the Eight of Wands here? We got All right, so there is a breakthrough aha moment, which is really, really good. That's something I like. That's a silver lining to the reading. We do have the Three of Cups in the upright, so whether this is someone, receiving advice or guidance about it, that could very much be the case where it's like, all right, well, whether they see it or whether they don't, maybe someone gives them a piece of guidance that makes them realize I don't want to say the error of the ways, but making them realize that no, there is an easier road. No, you could do it this way and actually take that advice. So maybe you're the one advising someone. That could be the case for some of you. Um, Maybe you're the one that receives the advice at some point. Who knows? It could go any which way. But either way, Eight of Wands, Three of Cups in the upright is celebratory to me. It's a win, it's a victory, it's a breakthrough. So even if things are in this right now, or they're messy, they're sloppy, they're difficult and clunky, they're not going to stay that way forever. Like the energy here is a breakthrough of some sort, and I do hope for a lot of you that this breakthrough comes sooner rather than later. That's how it feels to me. So we got some difficulty in the front, some situations or problems. It's cool, it happens in life, but we do have this breakthrough, which I really, really like. So I would say for some of you, just watch ways that you can optimize certain things or things that you're going through because there might be an easier way. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. If you kindly look in the box, this was a bit of a roller coaster ride. It's all good though. Position number one, we have the Eight of Cups with the Strength card, someone intentionally taking the more difficult path. Now, if you are going through some problems or situations, you got the grit, you got the personality, you got the strength to push through, which I think is beautiful. But again, to me, it just feels like someone that's purposely taken the more difficult road. Moving to the middle, we have the Three of Swords with the Queen of Swords in reverse, and to me, it felt very similar. Someone just making it more difficult, and it felt like a glutton for punishment, where it's like, yeah, no, I like to hurt, I like to feel pain. Okay, so no judgment. It is what it is, but there's an easier way. Moving to the back end, so again, there's problems, situations, whatever. Moving to the back end, we have the Eight of Wands with the Three of Cups, the breakthrough. So it's not always going to be that way. Whether this person receives advice or gives it, it's like, okay, someone's like snapping sense into them at some point. So please take a screenshot. I know that was hyper specific. I felt like I was doing a personal, but please do a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's see what we got. What do we got for Aquarius in the shadows? Thank you. Four of Swords. Okay. So there's something here about resistance, and I don't know if anyone watches Star Trek, but it felt like the Borg resistance is futile. I don't know why I'm coming out here with Star Trek quotes, but the Four of Swords. Usually it's an energy of rest, recuperation, and healing. So for a lot of you, yeah, maybe Spirit just wants you to take it easy with something. Be kind to yourself, be empathetic to yourself. But there is something here where it's like the more you resist something, the more difficult it's going to be. Or the more you resist something, the more you will receive the same, if that makes sense. So there is an energy here where it's like, all right, well, don't resist it. Resistance is futile, right? Just like the Borg from Star Trek. If you know, you know. But if you get into a flow state of acceptance, that's where everything just opens up wide. So I like it. Maybe some of you need that rest and recuperation, but for the rest of you, um, be kind to yourself. And the more you resist, the more you get it. That's how it feels. So do with that what you will. That's what I have for you this week, Aquarius. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the November subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation and you'd like to have a little chat with me, you can book a personal reading with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. You'll see my digital calendar is open for the month of November. They're filling up pretty quick, so if you'd like to have a chat, come over and see me. But for the November subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of a lovely deck. It's fairly new. It's called Tarot of the Woodland Wardens. It has a whole bunch of fluffy critters. It's really adorable. I think everyone would like it. So if you like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, since it is November, What are you most grateful for right now? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.